Guys, welcome back to this house of fashion. Hope you have fun with this. Today's episode is going to be on how to cut a baggy pant using this fabric to cut it out. If you come across my channel for the first time, please subscribe to my channel for more amazing tutorials. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys. So since we are cutting this baggy trouser twice, the first folding here is for the front. So I'm going to take the necessary measurement at the front first before cutting using one of the front to cut out the back. So the first thing I have to do here is the length of the trouser. From the upper part here, I'll be taking the length to be 44 inches. Here is 44 inches. Then I'll be adding 2 inches of seam allowance to it. So here is it as well. So the next thing I'm going to do is to make a straight line for the lines I took. You can see. So after that, the next thing I'm going to do is to take the waist measurement. And mind you, the waist measurement is the same thing as hip measurement here, because we are making use of elastic rubber and there's still going to be a rope inside the waist. So we are using the waist measurement as the hip measurement. So after this, now I can now go ahead and take the measurement of the waist, the crotch, the thigh, then the hip measurement, the hip point as well. So the first thing I'm going to consider here is going to be the 2 inches up we're taking up for the band. Then we take our hip point first. We take our crotch to be 12 inches, supposed to be 11 inches, but since is a baggy trouser, I added 1 inch to it. Then 4 inches down from the crotch to thigh. So the line of that 4 inches down is the thigh line. So let me now have a straight cut from there. But for me to have a straight cut, let me take the measurements I took at this side also. The first thing I took was the hip point. The second one, don't forget to take 2 inches up when you are taking your measurement. No, that's what we took. This is the crotch line. Then from here 4 inches down for the thigh line. Then we can now connect the lines together to have a straight perfect line. So the first thing I'm going to determine here is going to be your hip measurement divided by 4. So the hip measurement divided by 4, this is what I'm having here. You can see this is my hip measurement divided by 4. And since it's a baggy trouser, I'm adding 4 inches additional seam allowance. You can call it seam allowance for it to be free here, as you can see. But you can make it of 5 inches, you can make it of 6 inches, but how big you want your baggy pants to be. Then I'll now connect this line together to have a straight line to the crotch. You can see from the waistline to the crotch line, that's where it's stopping. Then I can now take the cuff sign as the cuff part of the flap. So anything you have at the hip, you divide it into 4. After dividing into 4, you still divide your hands are into 4 as well. So anything you get is what you're going to use for the cuff line at the cuff. So what I got here was 2 inches. Then I'm going to use the 2 inches now. Then 2 inches up. So I cannot make use of my armor cut to make out the shape of the flap, and don't let it to be too deep so that it won't gather material at the flap area. So you can see the way I did my own. Then to get the thigh measurement, you take your measurements from the flap, the wideness of this flap, like this. You can see. So anything you get there minus 1, you minus 1 from it, then you get your thigh. So as you can see, this is what I'm having here, minus 1. So then I'll now connect the line from the crotch to the thigh. So it's going to give me the shape. So that is what we're going to take down to the full length of the trouser. But if you don't want your trouser to be too wide at the down there, you can minus some inches from what you have before, like minusing 2 inches. So I've minus 2 inches from the wideness because I don't want it to be too big at the down part there. So then I'm trying to connect them together, then cut it out. As I'm cutting the front, the next thing, I took one of the front, then I fold another fabric that is wider than the first one with at least 8 inches. Then I folded it out. I folded it into two. Then I placed one of the front on it like this to cut out the back. You know, the back will be more wider than the front with some inches. So I'm extending the crotch up with 1.5 inches. And we're going to add allowance to the crotch at the side too with 1.5 inches as well. So I'm going to take that round, then add it to the full length of the dress. At this back side, we're not going to add anything there because it's equal. But at this front side, we're going to add our allowance to it. So you can see the way I'm doing that. After adding 1.5 inches to the side of the crotch, so I'm trying to connect them to give us that shape, that curve shape. So I'm using my armor cut to bring out the shape of the crotch, you can see. Then I'll now go ahead after that and add 1.5 inches to this side as well. You can see 1.5 inches, 1.5 inches is the full length of the trouser. So after that, I will now connect them together. So here the connection, as you can see, the way I'm connecting them, you can see, to the crotch like that. So by the time I cut it out, you're going to see how the shape is going to be, and you're going to see the allowance added to the side of the front where the crotch is of the trouser. So after this, now I can now cut it out. So at this upper part here is a slant line up, a slant line. Now I told you from the side there's not going to be any extension of 1.5 inches, so we're going to slant it to the center of the crotch. So after the slanting, we can now cut it out. So here is after cutting it out. This is the additional allowance of 1.5 inches added to the side of the crotch, you understand. Then the next thing is cut out the pocket, the band, then the rope. This is what I'm using to cut out the pocket. This is folded into two already, then into four, because the pocket I'm cutting out here is going to be a pieces pocket. The first thing I'm going to consider here is going to be the opening of the pocket, which is going to be around 7 inches. So this is my 7 inches. This is where the 7 inches is. Then I'll be adding half inch of seam allowance to it, so that's 7.5. No, that's 8 inches. You know, I added half inch at both sides. So I'll now place my hand at the center, then bring out the shape of the pocket. Just cuff it out like that, like this. Then I can now cut it out. But before then, let me check the depth of the pocket. So this is about 9.5 inches. I think is deep enough. So the next thing is to cut it out, this way, you can see. Then I want to make it run properly, so I decided to fold it into two this way, then we cut it. So we are done with the cutting here. This is 4 pockets. I told you this is into 4. You can see the first one and the other ones. So the next thing is to take the waist measurement. This wideness is 5 inches. By the time we fold it into 2, it's going to be 2.5 inches, and what we needed is just 2 inches, you know. That means the half inch is going for the same allowance. Then the length is about 60 inches. The 60 inches is the same allowance. So by the time you put an elastic over there, it's going to be shrink. So this is 2 inches of elastic cover that I'm going to use. So this is the one I'm using for the rope. This is about 3 inches width. Then we're going to fold it like that and sew it. So here is after joining the pockets at the back and at the front as well. You can see what I've done here. I've joined the pocket to the front and to the back, just at the side. Then we're going to place it together like this, then join it at the side. It will not be equal, you know, the back that you cut is bigger than the front, so this is how it's going to be. Just have to make it equal at both sides for joining. So by the time you join them together, then you will now discover that the back is bigger than the front, but let them be equal when you are joining at this side. You can see I left 0.5 inches up for the joining of the band. Then from there I'm going to stitch it around with 0.5 inches to the full length of the trouser. After that, we can now attach our band to it. Here is after joining the side of the trouser, then I turn it to the right side. Then I've created a hole to the band where we're going to insert our elastic cover and the rope. Then we're going to put it together at the waistline like this, join them together like this. Then I'm going to make use of an office pin to pin it down, so by the time I'm sewing it, I'll know the line to follow. So I'm done stitching the bands to the waist. You can see how it is now. So the next thing is to insert the elastic cover using our safety pin to put it in the hole. I've inserted the elastic cover, so the next thing is to stitch on it. So I'm leaving up to 0.5 inches up, then stitch. So I left the 0.5 inches up and 0.5 inches down. So I stitch on the band. Then there is a space at the middle when you don't sew at all, when we didn't stitch on at all. So is that area we're going to insert our rope to, like this, as you can see. So I've put my safety pin, then I'm putting it in here. You can see the middle. So we stitch it up with 0.5, then we stitch it down with 0.5. Then we now have our middle. That's the middle where the rope we want to insert in is going to pass through. So we are done with the stitching. You can see how the trouser is. You can see how beautiful it turns out. If you're watching me for the first time, what are you waiting for? Please subscribe to my channel for more amazing tutorials. And for those who have already subscribed, I really appreciate you guys for watching my video. Always see you in my next tutorial. Bye.